All right. So in terms of functions of political parties, there are quite a number of them. Political parties all over the world are supposed to function as agents of interest aggregation, bringing together various interests, agents of interest articulation, projecting or articulating those interests, agents of political socialization. They are supposed to be socializing the people about the dogmas of politics. They are supposed to be providing political education for the people to know how to vote, when to vote, what to do at what particular point in time, what is going on in the country, and then all those things that are germane to governance of their country. They are supposed to be educating people on about these things, and then they are supposed to be presenting candidates at elections, as they usually do. They also are supposed to function as agents that recruits and groom political leaders for their country. It's the function of a political party to recruit, train, groom leaders for their country. In times of national crisis, it is also the role and function of political parties to undertake research into such national crisis with the view of feeding their findings into what the government of the day may be doing to solve the problems. So these are the broad functions of political parties. Unfortunately, when you come to Africa, political parties are only seen to be functioning, or they function as election machines. They abandon all their functions and only concentrate on the function that makes them present candidates during elections, or the function that makes them contest elections. But presenting of candidates at elections and contesting elections periodically aren't the only functions of political parties. They are supposed to offer training and grooming. They are supposed to be recruiting and offering training and grooming to future political leaders. They are supposed to be agents of political socialization, offering the needed political education to their constituents and to their people. They are supposed to be playing the watchdog role. He who is cutting a path does not know his back is crooked. It is the function of political parties to watchdog the government of the day, to ensure that there is much accountability, and to ensure that governments are kept on their toes, and to be doing the right thing. They're supposed to be doing all these things, but in reality, they don't do some of these things because they have problems. One problem confronting many political parties in Africa is lack of public funding for them. They don't have the resources, so some of them are not able to see, apart from the competing or contesting for elections. Most of the functions of political parties are supposed to be performed in the inter-election period, okay, or in between elections. So they need resources to be able to perform these functions. But unfortunately, most of them do not have these resources. There's no public funding for political parties, and so it is difficult for many political parties to keep their heads above water in the inter-election period. So the little resources that they raise, they keep these resources only to spend them during elections. They are supposed to be undertaking research with the view to feeding their findings into what the government is doing when there is national crisis. But without money, you can't undertake this research. So a major problem confronting political parties, and this major problem has culminated in the political parties being sometimes hijacked by financiers, and these financiers tend to fund political parties from all sorts of background and they hijack the activities of political parties. So political parties, though, are expected to be internally democratic, it is the views and wishes of these political parties that hold sway in determining who must, for instance, be represented by the political party, and in determining what decisions must be taken within the decision-making process of the political party, because they are paying the money. And so, even though political parties are supposed to be internally democratic, they tend to be deficient in this, because it is the ones who pay the money who dictate how the parties must run. And sometimes they gain notoriety, they speak their mind, they insult, they say, they do all manner of things, and nobody is able to bring them to book, because they are the ones that are paying. And so the point I want to make is that political parties have many problems, but a single preponderant problem of many political parties, especially in developing democracies, is the fact that they are not funded. And he who pays the piper calls the tune. The one who funds the political party is the one who dictates how the political parties must run. And sometimes they push the political parties to run in a manner that does not make them look too democratic. We would end this lecture.